Hi everyone, Cosmic Carrie here. Fourth time lucky. 4 is auspicious. I'm going to bring you a lovely video today about the making of Alder Wand. I was drawn to make it this week, so I'm going to talk you through how I made the wand and hopefully impart a bit of information for you in case you're interested in thinking about making a wand, gathering the wood and just embarking on this beautiful activity of making a wand. So let me just describe the scene. So we have 2 crystals gracing the reading, the clear quartz crystal and also rainbow quartz. I will talk more about the rainbow quartz later, because I also have a piece on the Alder Wand. And it's important to talk about all the aspects of moon phases and other things, gathering the ideas and the whittling on the wand. So I'll go through all of that in just a moment. Before I launch in, I want to say that I was drawn immediately before doing this video to do a short forgiveness ritual. It just came to me. I've been meaning to do it for a while and it just felt appropriate now. So I've just spent a couple of minutes doing a forgiveness ritual, which involved me writing down on a piece of paper all the people, all the situations from years gone by, really from early childhood till now, on a piece of paper, screwing it up in a little ball and then ritually destroying or burning that piece of paper in safe conditions, of course. And actually I lit the paper from the flame of a Palo Santo piece of wood. So we had some very lovely smudging going on. So a real sacred space at the altar or my little log burner. And it's interesting, Palo Santo often doesn't want to light very well or smoke or whatever, but today on that ritual, which literally took 5 minutes, 6 minutes, that wood was ablaze. Really big flames, real flames of transformation, of purging, of purification. I think that was meant to be like that, and it really felt quite sacred, which is what sacrifice is about, and ritual. It felt sacred and I feel a release. I've been working on these issues for a while, but today I was particularly drawn to do this cleanse, if you like, directly before this video. So I just wanted to share that with you. So we have quite a bit of clouds of Palo Santo in the room, but a very beautifully smudged scene today. So without much ado about nothing, let's go to the video and to the making of the beautiful Alder Wand. So the moon phase happens to be sort of balsamic. When you look at the moon in the night sky, we're just going over to, is it last quarter? I'm reaching behind me, excuse me for turning round here. It's past the last quarter, so it's approaching balsamic, I think, here in the UK at this time. Saturday the 28th of March 2026, just after 12 midday. Tonight at midnight we lose the hour, spring forward with the clocks. So it's really spring equinox. It's really going into the time of the light now, and so that feels also really auspicious and a good time to tell you about the wand. So as some of you know, if you follow this channel, and a quick shout out to those who follow and welcome in oldies and newbies to 2 for Joy Oracle, you're all welcome. Thank you for taking time to be here with me in this sacred space today. Those of you who follow know that I communicate with trees, and particular a special tree in my locality, an old oak, for which I have been designated by another person who's a tree whisperer, Gordon Field, as a tree guardian to that tree. What does that mean? That means that I communicate with that tree, get downloads directly from it sometimes, and in dreams, and the liminal space. The liminal space, for those of you who don't know, is that space where you are relaxed, you haven't quite gone to sleep, or you haven't quite woken up. That's the liminal space, yeah? The in-between space. We're neither there or there, but we're in between. Okay. I've had a few messages, not many, but this isn't a thing of numbers of communications, yeah? So it's important to say that this wand has been made for me to use generally, but also to use with that tree. Now, I haven't actually introduced the wand to the tree. That's something I hope to do this week, now that we've entered into the time of the light. The tree is waking up, the sap is rising. Look in your garden, look around you. The leaves are starting to get tiny bits of leaf. The trees are starting to get tiny bits of growth and leaves. So the sap is rising and growth is starting now. We're coming out of the dark time and into the light. So this is a beautiful piece of alder, and I will talk to you about alder. It was gathered from my friend Susanna, who lives a couple of villages down in South Somerset nearby, from her alder tree. I have a video in which you can see the alder tree, and I will put a copy link in the description box to that if you're interested to see the mother-father tree from whence this wand was taken. It's important to say, whenever you're taking wood, to ask permission from the tree. Often, as Gordon is teaching me, the tree whisperer guru that I am in communication and work with, to approach it with your heart in a way, perhaps more than your mind. Be respectful and feel that it's the right time. Some people bring gifts when they take something from the tree. This particular twig was together with another twig that I think Susanna took as well for herself, that was sort of snapped over and hanging on the tree. So it was ready to let this go, but it was perfect size, and I thought, oh, I'll just have that. So I had that and was very grateful to the tree. But that was back at Imbolg, so February. So it's been sitting, drying out, getting ready, waiting for me to find a right time in which to whittle it and turn it into a wand by putting energies in how I'm preparing and making the wand into this amazing magical communication stick, which is kind of what a wand is, if we're going to look at it in those terms. So this is really a practical how to make a wand session today video. Let me talk to you about alder. Now, if you don't know, go and buy the books of this amazing person, Glennie Kindred. She's written a whole series of books, I think I've got them all, on trees. This one is the tree Ohm, and it was written a few years ago. I will put a link to it. I might put the ISBN number in the description box. But anyway, all the works of Glennie Kindred, if you put Glennie Kindred in Google or any other search engine, you'll come up with, it'll give you results. So let me just read you simply what she says about alder. Alder, or in the tree Ohm, the word for alder is fern, F-E-A-R-N, which is indeed actually a woman's name, Fern, or Fjarn, if we're saying that with an Irish accent, which some of us do. Okay, so Fern stands for fire and water, active and receptive, balance, preservation, a shield. That makes sense, and we're going to mention that in a minute. Protection, challenges, discrimination, foundation. With discrimination, I mean choice. Foundation, spiritual warrior, inner confidence. The underlying energy of alder is this. The alder, like the rowan, has protective qualities, but it is more the protection a spiritual warrior might need in going bodily forth into the unknown. The Alder energy will help you take up challenges, move into new situations, and face things which you have previously avoided. So it's a little bit like the equivalent of doing your shadow work. Okay, things which you have previously avoided. It is a balanced energy associated with fire on the one hand, which will bring a masculine direct approach, yet its element is water. Of course, the alder tree is a tree that is to be found in the wetland. It needs and is found in and near water. So that makes sense. Feminine and receptive is the element of water. In the past, the wood was mostly used for its unique properties of becoming stronger when immersed in water. So this speaks to me of the water elements. Indeed, Cancer, Scorpio, of which you know I am one, rising sign, and lots of Scorpio in my chart, and Pisces. In Celtic lore, spirit is represented by water, so it is that element of water. It's also important for us to be aware of what is going on below the surface as well as on the physical level. The alder could be a catalyst for changes and challenges in your life. This will ultimately bring you healing and a deeper understanding of yourself, even though these experiences might be difficult at the time. And that's what we talk about: transformation, shedding of the skin, the peeling of the onion, those kinds of things. The alder will help you to balance your fire and water qualities, to know when to move forwards with strength and courage, challenging everything which doesn't ring true, and when to find inner stillness and receptivity to divine inspiration, which will guide your actions, are the lessons of alder. They will provide a firm foundation for your life and a spiritual warrior, as a spiritual warrior. I do think of myself as a spiritual warrior to some degree for myself, and I hope with the small talents that Spirit has gifted me to help others, like you beautiful viewers and other people in the world. So this has been ready, and it was made in the last 3 days. Just after I made it, well, I've talked to you about what I got there afterwards. I haven't had many downloads, but I just knew it was the right time to make this. So the wood was dried February, March, so really for a month, 6 weeks, whenever Imbolg was. 8 weeks, isn't it now? Where are we now? 28th. So yeah, almost 8 weeks. So I took the twig and it was dry, just standing by the wood burner drying for the last 8 weeks. And then this week I oiled it in patchouli. I love patchouli. Patchouli is a very beautiful, musky kind of essential oil from the patchouli plant. And I discovered that lovely fragrance when I was about 16 at school, and it's never left me. It's about a few decades. But for me, it invokes peace, calm, also sensuality, just a lovely feeling of vibrance and aliveness. And so I wanted to infuse that into the stick. So I rubbed the oil into the stick. So when you choose your wood, decide why you're making a wand. And therefore, when you know why you're making the wand, you'll know which wood to select the stick or the twig from. Yeah. But alder had been given to me in my spiritual book, my dream book, the gold book that I've shown you in other videos, actually years ago. So I'm embarrassed to say it's taken me this long to make it, but let go of the embarrassment, Carrie. You weren't ready. It wasn't the right time until now. Making the wand at the right time is really important because it means you're bringing the right energies to this endeavour. So really listen to that, be guided by that. So with the alder gathered at my friend's tree in Imbolc and made now at the towards the balsamic moon, I wanted to put a crystal on it that was relevant, and also I wanted to carve or whittle into the wand some signs that were relevant. So I'll talk to you about the signs first. So first of all, I've got three signs, one and two rooms, but a third room is also mentioned. I'll mention that in a minute. So the first room at the bottom, I'm just going to hold it up to the screen, is here. You can see here, all right? So you can see, those of you who don't know, I'll talk about this now. The first rune is from the Elder Wand, and it is Algiz, Algiz. I've seen it as AZ as well, or UZ. For me, this is also angel, but it's also protection. Algiz is talking about protection of physical and spiritual self, and it is about divinity. Now, also for me, this looks very much like the outstretched human worshipping the sun or worshipping the earth, the heavens, divinity. That's something I do every day, is get into that position when I'm stretching in the morning to give thanks. It's also a little bit like tree pose, an alternative tree pose, which I try and do every day. Well, I do it every day to connect with the energy of trees. It's also the sign of Psi, which in Greek mythology is, she was, I'm not going to missay, but it basically means psyche, spirit, energy. So this is very powerful. So this is the first symbol that I whittled onto it, and then it was scored on with a hot iron here. And during all of the making of these, I've been connecting with it, giving love to the stick, thanking the stick. Very important, because you're changing the nature of it. This is no longer just a stick, it is a wand. It's a powerful, magical wand. And we need to respect it. I need to respect it. So at every part of the making of the wand, I'm giving thanks and gratitude. So that's the first sign at the bottom. And this comes just above where I will hold it, probably. You see, it's just there, just above the thumb. But you decide, when you've decided which wand to use and for what purpose, you decide where you put your markings, okay? So the next marking that comes onto the wand, that I whittled onto the wand, is of course the Ogham for fern, fjarn, or alder, the wetland tree. And it's here. Let's see if we can get that there. So it's like a straight line with 3 bars to the right. Okay, and the sort of downwards arrow just means the end of the sentence. It's not a sentence, it's literally just one symbol, but it's important because it's the symbol of this wood on this stick, giving it great power. So fern is the Ogham. And the Ogham is an ancient script that is Celtic in nature. In fact, I want to read the description of Owen from Glennie Kindred. So bear with, just whilst I open that in her book, because I read this recently and perfect. Yeah, her words are far better than mine. Okay, so Owen. The origins of the tree Owen, pronounced Ogham. Some people say Ogham, but it is Owen. It's a silent G. Lie with the Celtic tribes who migrated to Britain from the continent around 700 to 500 BC, or BCE, as I think it's now called. There is no evidence of any Ogham script found on the continent, but there are 320 inscribed standing stones surviving in the British Isles today, mostly in Southern Ireland and Wales. And any of you who know me know I have now already known but proven DNA and ancestry with South Ireland, Kerry, Cork, Dingle, and also South Wales, also some Scottish in there too. So all this stuff is my ancestral birthright, if you like, so added power to that. There is even recent evidence of the Ogham script being found in North America. That's interesting, I didn't know that, opening up new evidence of Celtic migration. The inscribed Ogham stones were all carved around 300 to 700 AD. There aren't any inscriptions later than this. So There's lots more, but that is just the description of the Ogham alphabet I wanted to give you. If you want to know more, check out by Glennie's books. You'll be able to read for hours about the Ogham. Very important. So that was the second whittling and inscription on the Alder Wand. Then comes the stone. Now this is important and this is lovely. And several things happened around the selection of the stone. I wasn't sure which stone to use because I love crystals. I've used crystals for years in healings and for my own ritual and practice and things like that. But then just out of the blue, I got rainbow quartz. It's a crystal I've never had really until this year, until recently, 2 weeks ago, something like that. So being given the gift of these, knowing what is going to go on the wand, is saying to me, the time is drawing near, Carrie, where you'll be making the wand. So you get the information, it comes to you almost without you asking, you're just pondering that idea, and then you're gifted with the knowledge you need. So rainbow quartz, I did purchase this one on Etsy. In fact, it was very sweet. They sent me another crystal. They sent me two. I only bought one, but they sent two. So that again felt auspicious and very kind. So I like to pay that generosity forward, and I will do that. Why rainbow quartz? Well, those of you who follow me know I love a 7, and there are 7 colours in the rainbow. That was very much a central driver. But rainbow quartz is perfect. The shape of this crystal is perfect because it really sits on this natural noddle or little mini twiglet on the Alder Wand, and it's very flat on one side, so it literally rests right against the wood. I've not used any glue or any man-made stuff. I mean, the copper wiring was man-made, but copper is a natural occurring element, so I'm not unhappy about that. But I didn't want any glue between the crystal and the wood. That was important. And this crystal, perfect. It really fits. It's like it was made for this Alder Wand. So rainbow quartz, fundamentally, it's about manifestation. That's what this wand is about. That's what wands are about: communication, manifestation, connection, and conscious intent. So it fitted. So rainbow quartz went on the Alder Wand. Fantastic. And then the last whittle or marking on the wand is this one, which is just above the crystal. Let's try and get it in the camera if you can see it there. And again, we have another rune from the Elder Favuk, and the rune is Ansuz. Now that is the letter A in the runic alphabet. A is very important for me. It's something, a sign, a symbol, a synchronicity that I've been getting for many years. A for angel, particularly for my guardian angels and those spirit beings that are around me, assisting me in this life and on this journey. But it just presented itself, and it was the right one. Ansuz means A in the alphabet there, but it's about communication, which is what this is. I said I want to use this to communicate with the tree, with the beautiful beacon oak in one of the fields near where I live, on the outskirts of the village. And it's important that this was the last one and the nearest to the end of the tip. Okay, so it's a pointer as well. And it was important that it was there after the crystal. So communication, it is about God, divinity. It's connected to Odin, wisdom, inspiration, all those things. So that was really important that that was there. So that's the wand and the making of it. But just giving a lot of love, attention, and speaking to the wand, kissing the wand as I've been making it, giving it love. Very important, because you infuse your energy with this beautiful piece of Gaia, of Mother Earth, of twig, the Alder Wand. So it is complete. all I need to do now is to use it. It's already been working for me. I'm going to do a meditation later this afternoon on which I will lay this on my chest, stomach whilst I meditate as well. There are great energies in this. And next week I will introduce the wand to the beacon tree, the cosmic oak nearby. Wonderful. Anything else to say about that? Yes, after I'd finished it, I did get a download, and I can't remember, guys, so forgive me. I can't remember how I got the download. I think I woke up and I simply had this in the liminal space. So what they showed me was Rido. So what they showed me was the symbol there, R, which again, Elder Faduk is the letter R, Rido. And Rido, as we know, is, it means travel, spiritual travel literally outside, but travel inwards, into the self, into the heart space, into the inner core essence of self. So it's travel. It's Pathfinder, yeah. And for me at the moment, what's happening in my life is lovely, and I think it means new paths are coming. I'm going to be embracing, stepping onto, moving along some new paths. New paths are opening up, which is brilliant. Journey, yeah, it is about journey, and it's as much the journey of life in the journey that we have here as human beings. And rhythm, it is about rhythm, and I love that because it's R, and that's the first letter of the word rhythm. So it is about journeying and the rhythm of your life, the rhythm that you follow along your path in your journey. And that reminds me of what Glennie said about knowing when to move forward, knowing when to stand still, or knowing when to move slowly forward, even knowing sometimes when to move back. Those of you who know or have seen any of the videos on this channel and know my work and what I do here at Two for Joy will know that when I get messages in the sticks or outside in nature and Gaia, when I'm in the energies of the wilderness, I will often step over something, look at it on the ground and think, oh, is that for me? I think that's for me. And then I step back. There is something in the ritual of stepping over something, almost passing it by, noticing it, knowing it is for me, and then stepping back. So that might be, for example, a time when we step back. Stepping back can also be stepping back to see the bigger picture. So that's really important. Wonderful. So we're almost half an hour in. I want to pull a couple of cards just to round off this beautiful, experiential, practical video today of how to make a wand. This is how I made my wand, friends. And I hope that it gives you a bit of guidance or somewhere to start if you're thinking about making a wand. And I encourage you to make a wand. So I will tell you about when I use it. It will be used to call in the winds from the north, the winds from the east, the winds from the south, and the winds from the west. When asking for communication, guidance, and manifestation, actions of manifestation or conscious intent, it will give me information and it will guide me where to go sometimes. But I don't know what else is going to come from my connection with this wand. It is a magical wand because it was given from Gaia and it was selected under guidance and turned into a beautiful, powerful tool of communication. That's what wands are. Wonderful. I'm going to pull 3 cards. I wanted to use Colette Baron Reid, the mystical shaman, because this is shamanic work, Celtic shamanic work. So it's important that we get the right decks. I did do a pre-shuffle. Can we have a card, please, for the lovely viewers? What have we got? I did shuffle earlier and I can't remember what came out. Oh, 3 came out and it seemed to be a little bit of a story and that really fitted for me. But let's see if anything comes out. Spirit, may we have something for the listener. something for the listener. That's interesting. I can see on Bee's picture we've sort of got 3 lines there. What's that about then? Can't think where that's coming from. There's no reflection. How interesting. Bee. When I look round at the back, it's not there. But when I look here, it could be on the camera lens, but I don't think it is. Spirit, please may we have a card to accompany the beautiful wand, the Alder Wand. Cosmic carries Alder Wand. Thank you. 1 card, just for the moment. It's not representative of the wand in general, but it's just representing. Strange, they've gone quiet. They were busy earlier. Okay, I'm going to put them down and try another deck. I'm going to use Storm Raven. May we have a card from Storm Raven, please? Thank you. Interesting, isn't it? The energies didn't want to say anything there, and I'm not going to force the issue. I've learnt over the years. Gripping, grasping energy, forcing, making something happen. Sometimes it might be needed, but invariably for me at the moment, in the last while, that doesn't work anymore. Stepping back, going with the flow. Spirit, can we have a Storm Raven? What would Storm Raven? Yeah, what does Raven say for Alder Wand reading today? Oh my gosh, they've gone quiet now. There we are. Oh, okay, this is nice. This I haven't pulled for absolutely ages. Interesting. Okay, sorry guys, reaching behind again for information. What have we got? What have we got? Okay, we have air, the velvet waiting. Now the velvet waiting, the velvet waiting is talking about a period of time where we're being asked to wait for something good that's coming in. It might be after the 10 of Wands, where we've had a struggle, we've carried our burden and someone else's burden and another 8 people's burden, and we're a bit fed up. We're toughing it out because we know something good is coming to us for all the work we've done, but just divine justice and balance. So the velvet waiting is another way of saying things are coming to you, but in divine timing. You're being asked to wait in a state of grace. I love this. These are, the velvet waiting is also reflective of some lyrics in one of the songs that we've done. As you know, if you follow me, I'm in a band, Midnight's Blue, a indie folk fusion. Oh, that nearly flew. Thank you. Ah, okay. Of course. The velvet waiting, I can't remember, which is terrible, which song it's in, but I will put a link to that if anyone's interested, where I sing about the velvet waiting. The velvet waiting. Consider the Lilies. There we are. The song is called Consider the Lilies, and it's on our most recent album, State of Grace. So I will put a link to that in the description if you're interested. And okay, if you're not, that's fine. So, waiting divine timing. Now, the shamanic deck, Colette's beautiful, beautiful deck, has given us a card. How beautiful is this? It is the rattle. Of course, 4 and 3 are 7. This is interesting because it reminds me of one of my other wands, Bee's Stick, which is in the wood burner, on top of the wood burner in the sacred space, where I just did a ritual before I clicked onto the video. And her stick is a bit like this. It's a bit like the rattle, infused with beautiful other energies from Bee and her time with us on the earth. So what am I getting from this? I literally get pure shamanism. Follow the cycles of the moon is what comes off the card. The rattle. Again, I'm feeling rattlesnake there, shedding of the skin, transformation. A necessary part of healing. So I will read what she says for 43, the rattle. Thank you. Here we go. In Colette's own beautiful words, the rattle is the spirit caller, carrying the shaman's prayer to the 4 directions now, the 4 winds that I just spoke of with the wand, the north, the east, the south, the west. The body of the rattle is like the earth spinning on its axis. With the aid of the rattle, the medicine woman instills the desired destiny in her future, closing with the prayer, Great Spirit, may your will be done. I love that. That is what I'm all about, to impart the messages and the energies of spirit for you, dear friends. The rattle guides us to pray for all the earth, not just for our personal needs, really important. When we offer our prayers for the highest good of all, everything we need is provided. Yes. We are all, to some degree, naturally medicine women, or women who can connect through nature, through shamanic practice, if we so desire. The calling in of the 4 winds totally fits. Thank you, Spirit. Absolutely beautiful. May we have a tarot, and then we may take a charm. I have put the charms down because I wasn't really sure if that was going to be appropriate. We'll see. Spirit, anything else to add to this beautiful reading? Alder Wand. As I'm shuffling the normal mini tarot, Radiant Wise Spirit by Los Scarabeo, I want to talk to you about the thumbnail. Now, the thumbnail is very interesting because after I did the sacrifice, the mini ritual of forgiveness over at the altar at the wood burner with the Palo Santo flame, just after that I sat still for a few minutes, and then I opened my eyes, and the pattern on the wood burner, those 2 eyes that I've got on the thumbnail, really seem to be eyes. They're markings on there, but they really felt they were imbued with an extra loving, nurturing, caring gaze on me and what I had just done. I really felt Spirit had just looked at me with love, with kindness and support. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Literally a clump of tarot cards fell off, and the one at the top was the Rainbow of Blessings, the 10 of Cups. It fits for what Colette just said. When you use your powers and your talents, your gifts, in all the ways that you wish, that you know, that you want, you're given the gifts, certainly to heal self very often, but fundamentally to heal others, for the highest good of all. For the highest good of all. That's really important, and when we do that, we will have everything that we need. As in the Rainbow of Blessings and the 10 of Cups. I love it. Thank you, Spirit. Beautiful. I'm drawn to take a charm. My goodness, this is a lovely long video. If you're still here by the end of the video, I'm going to leave the comments section open today. Please put in a magic wand sign to let me know you've watched right to the very end. And I will send extra blessings to all those who got through the almost 40-minute video. Thank you. Let's have one from the heart of the matter. Thank you, Spirit. Lovely. Oh, I like that. We have the little dress on the hanger. I always thought this was a tassel, but it's not. It's actually a dress on a hanger. And it's very funny because I've literally just been ironing a skirt that I'm wearing tomorrow when we do an acoustic open mic at a lovely place in Somerset. Get your glad rags on. Dress up. Thank you, Spirit. Love that. Very supportive. One from the peripheral of the matter. Thank you. Oh, what have we got there? Oh, that's very nice. Oh, this is saying treat yourself, Carrie. Just was a good thing. It's an enamelled charm, which means extra emphasis, and it looks like an ice cream sundae. So it might be tomorrow is Sunday, I need to go and have ice cream, or an ice cream sundae, but it's saying relax, kick back and treat yourself because you are worth it. Beautiful souls, wonderful cosmic children of the universe. This has been amazing. I hope you've enjoyed the content today on the making of this beautiful Alder Wand. Go forth into the world, be safe, listen to your messages, create your own wands. Let me know your experiences in the description box below, in the comments box below. Let me know if you made a wand or if you're thinking about making a wand, the tools you'll use, what ritual you might use, and for what purpose you would like to use your wand. You'll get regular updates on Alder Wand as and when, and I will do shorts and longer videos out in nature with the wands. Thank you for being here. Please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends and family. And don't forget, if you made it to the end of the video, put the magic wand emoji in the comment section, and I will send all those who do that extra love and blessings of the moment of the day. Thank you for being here. I'll make another video soon, and all that remains for me to say is take care, my friends, and see you in the next one.